Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I'll be showing you guys 3 different ways you guys could pass your evals and try to get funded. I will also be showing you guys, live replay execution, so you guys kind of know how it works, the strategy behind it. I'll be showing you guys the pros and cons of each, and yeah. But before I get started, I want you guys to make sure you join my Discord. We're slowly growing there. Make sure you guys click this green check mark so you guys will be able to access all these different channels, as well as if you guys don't have any code to use for these prop firms like My Funny Futures or Tradeify, make sure you use my code, shameless plug. Monk, that's with 2 Ks, help support your boy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will have the links in the description if you guys are interested in trading with either of them. I recently got affiliated with both of them, so I'm really excited. But yeah, enough of my rants. Let's get started. So 2 of them, I will say, is pretty common if you guys have been trading in the futures space for a little bit. I would say the first 2 right here are going to be news reliant, so I just want to preface that by saying you guys probably need a high impact news day or a lot of volatility for it to work. Other than that, the last option is just going to be trading legit, so I guess I'll get started. But yeah, the news events that you guys are going to be looking for is either NFP, FOMC, CPI, or PPI. Anything other than that, it's a little bit too slow and it's not volatile enough to kind of have the strategy work. But yeah. Alright, so this is going to be option 1. This is going to basically just be a buy stop and a sell stop. This is pretty nice because you could just do it with one account. And basically what you're going to want to do is a couple seconds before a big news event like CPI or FOMC or whatever, like maybe 15 or 20 seconds before the news candle drops, place your buy stops and sell stops below swing highs and swing lows, right? And basically what you're anticipating is for it to just go in one direction and not look back, right? You're going to want a big fat expansive candle going in one direction, right? So basically you're going to get triggered into a buy stop or a sell stop, and whatever happens first is basically what you're going to be sticking with. So if you get triggered for a buy stop, you're going to basically want to have your TP over here, and hopefully you pass your funding account in one go. If not, and you trigger down short, you're going to basically want to have your sell stop get triggered first and then have your TP set. So I'll kind of go over the pros and cons of each. So why would you want to go with the first option? I would only recommend this if you guys have been funded or funded before or have already reached the payout stage. This is just a quick and easy way to get your eval, get your funded account, right? So I know some people, especially myself as well, is they don't want to spend too much time on evals and just want to get funded. And the reason for that is there's no point if you've been funded before. I wouldn't say there's no point, but they already have the experience to kind of handle a funded account, right? So they kind of just want to skip the eval phase and just get straight to a funded account, right? The second option being, or sorry, not second option, but the second reason why you would probably want to do this is you guys are, financially able to, right? You should not be doing this if you don't have the finances or this is the only account that you could buy. And basically, as well as, why would you do this? It's basically all or nothing, right? It's either you get the account or you don't. So you could do this a couple ways. One being, only going for one funded account or kind of group trading it, right? So going 5 account or maybe 3 accounts and just trying to pass it all in one go, right? And then pay the activation fee or whatever you need to do, right? And I would say this strategy has around 70% success rate. The only times this wouldn't work is when you get like a nice candle at first, right? Where you get triggered in for a buy stop, right? But then all of a sudden it gets super wicky and then we go the opposite direction. And you don't quite reach the profit target, right? So let's say your TP is like just right here and you barely miss it. That does happen. So I will say this is a little bit, it isn't the best success rate, but it is pretty high success rate if you guys do it during a high news event. That's why it's kind of critical that you guys do this during an NFP or FOMC day, during the news drop, right? You want to do this right before news. Why I would not recommend using this strategy is if you've never been funded before. If you have never been funded before and you use the strategy and you pass your funded account, you obviously will not be able to handle how to trade your funded account, because obviously when money gets involved, people make bad decisions, right? You should be, mentally preparing yourself during the eval phase if you've never been funded before to learn, how to manage your risk and how to manage your emotions, right? But if you've already done that before and you've gotten a payout or you've been funded before and you've already gone through those motions, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be using this if obviously you have the finances and you're okay with that. And yeah, I will get straight into the example right now. All right, guys, so now I'm basically going to show you how to execute the strategy. I am using Tradeivate right now. I am on the Tradeivate replay system, so I could show you guys and demonstrate, like basically reenact the entire thing. Like I said, I recommend doing this during a high news event like CPI or whatever. Today, that's what we had. So a couple seconds before the actual news drop, I would say just have a buy stop, right? And a sell stop ready to go, below the swing highs and swing lows, and have your TP set. Do whatever math you guys have on whatever contract that you have, right? So if it's 5 accounts, I only need, 30 points to pass my eval, right? So that'd be around right here. Do the math beforehand, and basically whatever happens. You can also just exit market, but sometimes you won't get filled, whatever, right? So I'll just go ahead and show you guys right here. Just for the sake of this video, I won't show you guys having the TP set, but you should already have the TP set in mind for whatever position that you have triggered, right? And it'll happen in less than a couple seconds right here. And basically you just it's all or nothing, right? Whatever happens, and then whenever you guys reach your profit target, just exit market, or have your sell limit ready to go. And just like that, you just passed your eval. All right, and now let's get started on the second strategy. All right, guys, so now this is going to be the second strategy. I will say with this one, it is a lot higher success rate. I would say close to 90%. However, it requires more than one account for it to work. Basically, you're just going to be longing one account and shorting the other before the news candle drops. So you will be in the trade before the news candle drops, right? Like a couple seconds. So I would say enter like 15 seconds, like I said before, the trade happens, or sorry, the big news event happens, right? And you're basically you're in long one account and in short the other account. And it's either you're basically just gonna pass one account and fail the other. That's pretty much what's gonna happen. And like I said, so like right here, you'll just be entering long position, hoping for 30, 50 points, whatever you need to pass. And then if we go short at the news candle drop, then you're basically guaranteed to pass one. So like I said, why would you use this strategy? Obviously, if you've been funded and you've reached the payout stage before, right? You just want to get funded again. If you've never been funded before, don't do this, right? As well as you're financially able to. Compared to this strategy right here, this one, you need to buy more than one account for it to work. Right here, you could just pass with one account, which is fine. But I would say this has a lot higher success rate. I do like this one a lot more, but it does require multiple accounts. Both are great options with whatever you're comfortable with. And obviously, like I said, if you don't have the finances, you should not be doing this. If you've never been funded before, you should not be doing this. And I'll be showing you guys the example right now. All right, guys, so now I'll be showing you guys, obviously, this is going to be the same news event, but I just want you guys to get the reps in, right? On one account, you're going to be buying, ready? All right, you're going to be already buying a couple seconds before. So I would say at maybe 45 seconds or 50 seconds, I would be entering long one position, right? So maybe like about right here, I would be in long already. Make sure you have your TP set already, right? Make sure you have a TP set already. And in the other account, you're doing the opposite. So you see, instantly pass the funded account, right? Just like that. In the other account, you're going to be shorting, right? But you're obviously you're gonna be failing that one account, but you're basically guaranteed to pass that account. And yeah, that's pretty much all you're doing. All right, guys, now we have finally reached the third one where it's trading legit. So for me, this is kind of what I've been doing recently since I haven't been waking up for the high impact news. I will just trade a lot heavier size than I normally do on legit trades that I would take, right? A+ setups, whatever, right? For me, this is the simplest I could show you guys. My strategy is the first requirement is you need to have some sort of drawn liquidity, right? Second of all, you need some sort of liquidity sweep. I prefer a London and Asia sweep or both. That's cool. And then third of all, you need an entry. I recommend just going with an IFEG entry if you've never, if you're not comfortable with taking anything else. And I would just size heavier. That's pretty much all it is. I did actually take one of these type of trades today, so I'll show you guys. And yeah. What I recommend, why would you use this strategy? Obviously, if you've never been funded before, it'll get you through it'll get your reps in and get you comfortable with taking trades. I would say if you've never been funded before and never passed an eval before, don't size heavy. Just take it slow. Do whatever you need to do. Eventually, you will pass, right? But what's important is you're building the foundation for when you get funded, right? So I would argue that's even more important. So take it slow. There's no need to rush things, right? Also, why would you use this strategy over the other ones is if you're new to trading, right? Like I said, your eval is to kind of build all the foundations that you need to be a successful trader, right? It'll help you manage your emotions, right? Since at least you got some skin in the game when you're buying an eval, right? and see how you manage under pressure. And yeah, and then obviously third of all, if you don't have the finances, right? If you're not willing to buy, drop a couple $100 on funded accounts and stuff like that, then this is obviously a great way to get started. And yeah, and the reason why not, there is honestly there's really no reason why you shouldn't be trading like this. But if you're just impatient like me, or you want to get funded immediately, I would say just go with the other option if you want. But there's nothing wrong with going with a trading legit strategy, right? So yeah, I'll show you guys one of the setups I took today. All right, so this is going to be the last strategy. Basically, it was a liquidity sweep, right? After having a big pump up, right? We started selling back down, but we still have targets to the upside, and I still like the momentum through this IFEG if we get it, right? So once we close strong, let's just wait a little bit. I'll show you guys the execution. So right after we a strong candle close right there, I would basically just size heavy, maybe 2 or 3 contracts, and just try to ride up into these highs. As you guys can see, this is the trade idea right here. Ideally, we swept Asia and London low, but that we didn't quite get it. But we did get a liquidity sweep right here, and we started getting a strong buy signals back up, right? So as soon as that closes above this IFEG, right, or sorry, this bearish fairway gap, that becomes an IFEG. That's your entry, stop loss, wherever you want, and try to ride it into the London highs. Like I said, this is just trading legit, right? This is basically a normal strategy, and as you guys could see, it eventually does take off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't really show you guys an execution on that, but that would be the idea behind the trade, at least. Like I said, this is just taking legit trades. This is like a normal trading strategy that I would do any other day. Like I said, also make sure you tune in for the live streams. This is basically just gonna be the end of the video, but make sure you tune in for the live streams. I'm on currently a 10-0 win streak on stream, live in front of people on YouTube. Also, make sure you join the Discord when I announce when I'm trading live for you guys as well. And like I said, make sure you use my code MONK. That's with MONK with 2 Ks. Help support your boy. And I hope you guys have a good day. Hopefully you pass your funded accounts. Hopefully you learn something. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.